And thank you for tuning in to KPSU, Portland's college radio station. We are broadcasting from www.kpsu.org. And KPSU has been broadcasting on the Portland State campus since 1994. All of our shows and podcasts are available for download at your leisure at kpsu.org. As always, I have to remind you that the views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily represent KPSU, Portland State University, or any of our participating affiliates. Listener discretion is advised. All right, you've been fairly warned. We have in the studio a wonderful singer-songwriter. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Alaina Fidanzo, and I'm super stoked to be here with KPSU. I've got a lot of original tunes and some covers to sing for you guys. I'm just stoked to be here.
That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about the song you're going to start with.
I'm going to start with Billie Jean, which has gone through like 300 cover transformations. The version I'm doing was most closely inspired by Obadiah Parker, who you should listen to immediately if you don't know him. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right. Well, let's hear it.
Sweet. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you. She was more like a beauty queen from the movie scenes. I said I don't mind, what do you mean? Well, I am the one who would dance on the floor in the round. She said I am the one who would dance on the floor in the round. She told me her name was Billie Jean as she caused a scene. From every hair drawn with eyes that dreamed of being the one who would dance on the floor in the round. Well, people always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts, no. And Mama always told me, be careful who you love. Be careful what you do, 'cause a lie becomes the truth. Billie Jean is not my lover, no. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. She claims I am the one, oh, but the kid is not my son. 40 days and for 40 nights the law was on her side. 'Cause who can stand when she's in demand with her schemes and her plans? 'Cause we danced on the floor in the ground. So take my strong advice, oh, just remember to always think twice, oh, think twice, oh. 'Cause people always told me, be careful what you do. But you go around breaking young girls' eyes. But she came so right by me, just the smell of sweet perfume. Way up in much you soon, but she called me to her room. Billie Jean is not my lover, no. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. So the kid is not mine. Billie Jean is not mine. So the kid is not. Billie Jean is not my love. Billie Jean, no. The kid is not, Billie Jean is not my love. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' eyes. But she came and stood right by me, just the smell of sweet perfume. Way up in much you soon, but she called me to her room. Billie Jean is not my lover, no. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. Oh, yeah, Billie Jean is not my lover, no. She's just a girl who claims is not. Said the kid is not my son. Billie Jean, oh Billie Jean is not my lover. Da 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 da. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, is it okay if I play an original for you guys? I'm not taking no for an answer. You will enjoy it. This is called Almond Butter. This is probably my favorite original I've ever written. It is not about almond butter. I wish it was. She colors in between the lines. 'Cause blue always had a full sense of reality. Lose a couple days, put you back on your feet. Empty stomach and an overflowing mind. Still busy eating up a beat in the melody. Lose a couple years, what's that to insanity? Yeah. Now wasting all my nights trying to get a hold of you and tell you all the things I wish you wouldn't do. Fall asleep, apologize, and hope the time is on my side, 'cause I just can't get through. Oh baby, we're running around in circles trying to get this right. But your face is one that I recognize, and lately it's easier to find ourselves caught in our lines. But I can't keep stealing time for you, no, 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 no. I can't keep stealing time for you, no. No, 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 la da da, la da, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Almond butter with a side of cherry wine. It's venomous shivers on an ice spine, but it feels kinda nice 'cause you said it's fine. And what's the point in never letting go? But didn't wanna figure out the color of reality. Just a couple years, was that to insanity? Now wasting all my nights, write another song to you and tell you all the things I wish I'd said to you. Yeah, I'll fall asleep, romanticize, and hope the time is on my side, 'cause I just can't get through. Oh baby, we're running around in circles trying to get this right. But your face is one that I recognize, and lately it's easier to find ourselves caught in our lies. I can't keep stealing time for you, no. I can't keep stealing time for you, no. No, 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 la da, la da, no. Oh, 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 I can't keep stealing time for you, no. Woo, that's almond butter.
That is the song I listened to when I was first checking out your music.
It was. I remember that.
And Andrea, thank you, from Umbrascato, introduced me to your music, sent me a link,
sweet.
and recommended you. So thank you, Andrea, for that.
Thank you, Andrea.
So nice of him. That song, of course, like I mentioned, was the one I first listened to. I was like, oh, that's got just kind of like this happy, bubbly thing going on.
Yeah.
But the lyrics themselves, tell me a little bit about them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No. Oh, I don't know if this is actually a thing super niche to 21 Pilots fans, but it's totally a thing that all their music is super bubbly. Their lyrics are like the most depressing thing you've ever heard. I think I listened to way too much 21 Pilots as a human. Yeah, the song is about frustration itself. It's about waiting for something redeeming to happen in a relationship that's too toxic for that. It's about fooling yourself into thinking that it'll happen. I feel like the happiness of it is like the optimism of that. Do you feel that maybe?
Yeah, like
and then the
you're
lyrics
trying to
like,
talk yourself into something and it's not there.
Yeah, exactly. So I felt like it was a cool contrast.
Nice. When you start writing a song, does it start with those lyrics, or do you have kind of like a little riff on the guitar? Where do you start at?
I start anywhere I can. Honestly, a song comes out of nowhere for me. I'll start with a lyric. I'll start with a chord. Like I'm writing the song called Walk right now. It just started liking this weird chord. Anything I think is pretty. Or like, you know, when.
So for Almond Butter, what part was it that started it? When you started writing that particular song?
I wrote this song about 2.5 years ago. But I think it was the more bluesy. I was just starting. You can tell in my songwriting
when I started playing music with different people, and my mindset like went through a total change, and it was just something that wasn't depressed like the rest of my music was at that time. So it was just the happiness sounding of it, and then I went and I made it depressing, but balance.
Right.
Yeah,
Understand.
you get it.
With that sort of bluesy sound you have, that hook you started with, was that from blues music you were listening to, or just kind of the general vibe of what you were playing that you enjoyed?
It was from what my friends were playing, you know, wanting to play things that I could play with my friends, and that they wouldn't be like, this is lame. Like, it was about peer approval a lot of the time.
I understand.
It works. You know what? If it works, it's not stupid.
So true. Tell me a little bit about the next song.
The next song? What even is the next song?
What do we got on your list? Fade.
Fade. Okay, Fade is actually, I pride it on being one of my most emo songs. I wrote it when I was like 12 and a half, and it's straight up about having a panic attack.
Something that even adults can relate to.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, more than little 12-year-old Lena. But
Absolutely. So it's about a panic attack or inspired from a panic attack?
it's about a panic attack. I was actually writing, I was so big into writing books when I was that age, and oh, this is actually a little bit embarrassing. I was writing a scene where like one of my characters was having an anxiety attack, and it was like just writing about it. It was like, oh, I can write about it in this way too, and it's all just ways of expressing, you know.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's the best part about music. It's those things that are hard to tell someone in words, but if you have music with it, it makes more sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So is that part of your writing process, just when you're writing something that's not music, to help you kind of flesh out a character then?
The feeling of it, or what do you mean?
Right. Yeah, just the feeling of what that character was going through.
Yeah, I tend to look at things as soundtracks a lot of the time. My entire music taste is kind of music that you can do life to, that kind of pushes you on in the mundanity and in the phenomenal, you know. And if I can make music that soundtracks people going through whatever they're going through and says like, hey, it's cool that you're here, and you know, it's real that you're here. That ended up being a little bit more deep of a statement than I meant it to be, but that's what it's
We'll go
about.
with it.
That's really what it's about, is saying it's okay and it's cool that you're here.
Right.
And I'll be here with you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Sweet, okay. Yeah, this is Fade. Shake and the heart race, 'cause you're part of a routine. Comes to our ways, that's a few days. What's the harm in a bad dream? Gravity hurts, memories burn. They're coming back for me. Ice cold, there's a blessing twice cursed. Overturned reality. Falling onto the riptide, staring up at the sky, and I can't close my eyes. Know the sun goes to hell still, and I can't see that I will trace my path across the sky. I don't wanna dance for the last time. Hate saying hello, but I hate saying goodbye. I don't wanna live for the high tide. I'm slipping away, but I don't wanna fade. I'm slipping away, but I don't wanna. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm slipping away. Take a minute and give me another definition. I'm making a living off of selling out my generation. Getting tired of all the voices and the celebration. Feel my burning glide and stare my obsession. But I'm not just a reflection of your possession. Not a beacon of light, looking for glorified attention. All I'm seeing in your eyes is a glorified expression. Say that you can take the blood and you say she would swear. Self-diagnosed warfare. Tell yourself that you don't care, and it's not worth your time. And a day it'll be over, and a day you'll be sober, and the burden was a lie. I don't wanna dance for the last time. Hate saying hello, but I hate saying goodbye. I don't wanna live for the high tide. I'm slipping away, but I don't wanna fade. I'm slipping away. And that's how you know it's live also. I have a cover for you guys next. It's 3 a.m. by Matchbox 20. I'm gonna grab my pick. Grab some water. It's the life water. When she says cold outside, she hands me a raincoat. She's always worried about things like that. Well, she said it's all gonna end and it might as well be my fault. She only sleeps when it's raining, and she screams, and her voice is straining. She said, baby, it's 3 hours below the high. Oh, she says, baby, well, I can't help be scared of it all. Sometimes the rain's gonna wash away what I believe in. Well, she's got love for something. I guess it's better than nothing. And in a color portrait world, she believes that she's got it all. She swears the moon don't hang quite as high as it used to. She only sleeps when it's raining, and she screams, and her voice is straining. She says, baby, it's 3 hours below the high. No happy, she says, baby, well, I can't help but be scared of it all. Sometimes the rain's gonna wash away, I believe in. Now she believes that life isn't made up of what you used to. And the clock on the wall has been stuck at 3 for days and days. She thinks that happiness is a mat that sits on her doorway. Oh, but outside it starts to rain. Oh, she said, baby, it's 3 hours still only high. No happy, she says, baby, well, I can't help but be scared of it all. Sometimes the rain's gonna wash away where I leave it in. It's 3 hours still only high. No happy, she says, baby, well, I can't help but be scared of it all. Sometimes. Thank you very much. That was 3 a.m. by Matchbox 20. That was fully a cover. I did not write that.
I enjoyed it, though. Thank you for sharing. For those tuning in, I am DJ Rochelle, the host of Live Fridays, here with Alaina Fidanzo.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm probably butchering your last name. How do you say it one more time?
Good. It's Fidanzo.
Fidanzo.
Yeah.
Wonderful Italian name.
Thank you very much. Wonder why I enjoy everything.
Tell me a little bit about how you started as a musician. Did you pick up a guitar first? Were you just singing as a little kid? Where did this all come from?
Yeah, so my mom told me a story recently where apparently I would not shut up in the car unless we were singing a song. So that was my villain origin story. I got my first guitar when I was 6. It was a little pink beginner guitar, and I loved it so much that I was very on and off with it. And then I got pretty serious about it. I did my first gig when I was 12 at a retirement home, which was
That's adorable.
pretty safe first gig.
Right.
They were
I
all
think
so lovely.
they're pretty excited to have any entertainment at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I love those people. Yeah, so that was me, and COVID hit me pretty hard musically, but since then, I've just been blessed to be around pretty amazing people that helped me get back in the game, and yeah, it's been pretty great.
Where did you come across the guitar you're playing today?
The guitar I'm playing today was a Christmas thing. It was a huge blessing from my family. That's it.
Was it something you had your eye on and kind of hinted at, or was it a total surprise?
Yeah, because my dad would take me. We would go to music shops like we do. That music shops are like always my favorite place to be. And we'd always go straight to the acoustics room, and there'd be Acoustasonics. And I just thought they looked cool, but then like, you have 10 different voicings, dude. Like, that's crazy and kind of normal. But I thought it was crazy, and I always played it. And so my family was like, oh, it would be a shame if we literally got you that guitar.
When you always gravitated towards when you were at a shop.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude.
When you're at a music shop, what in particular do you normally gravitate towards? Like, obviously you gravitated towards this guitar. What is it that draws you towards it?
Anything that looks weird, basically. So, of course, I can't remember a lot of the names of the weird instruments.
That's okay.
But anything that looks weird, I love. I have a deep respect for anything that is, like, experimental and that I don't know about yet. So that's what gravitated. That's what attracted me to it. Yeah.
That's great. Now, when you're listening to music, you've already mentioned a few of the influences, like 21 Pilots and Matchbox 20. What have you been listening to lately? Like, what have you been listening to, like, in the last couple days that have been on repeat?
Well, in the last couple days, that 92 performance of Summertime by Joe Pass, that has me in a chokehold. A lot of Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, iconic.
Classic.
Yeah. My all-time favorite, actually, I was saying, like, the deep respect for experimental and artistic stuff. My favorite album of all time is Now Not Yet by Half Alive. Gotta plug that. Oh, man, I got to go to one of their shows in March. Dude, those guys have creativity coming everywhere, just radiating out of everything they do. So that I would recommend Now Not Yet to everybody.
When you're picking out a song to listen to, are you going through streaming, on through YouTube? Do you have vinyl or CD? What's the format?
When I'm listening to music?
Yes.
Spotify.
Spotify.
I am basic when it comes to that. Spotify, plug it into my car, we're good.
When you're browsing Spotify to find something to listen to, is it from recommendations, from a friend? How do you come across new things to listen to?
A lot of friend stuff, a lot of peer pressure, and a lot of Shazamming what I hear in, like, grocery stores or whatever.
I admit I am guilty of that. I'll be watching a TV show and hear a song, and I'm like, ooh, what is that? And I'll pull up Shazam just to see what it is and then find it on Spotify.
Right, and it's always so bomb. The rest of their album or discography is like, how did you not do all these songs? But yeah, Spotify added an enhance option to their playlist, so you have, like, new music coming out of your ears now. It's like, I don't have enough time to listen to every song on Spotify, and that bugs me so much.
Right. That's one of those things I tell friends if I were immortal, that what I would want is to be able to listen to every bit of music ever created. And you realize that even if you accomplish that, there's still more being created all the time.
Right.
So you can't, even if you're immortal, can't listen to everything.
Yeah.
So
The
no
great tragedy.
vampire for me. But anyway.
No vampire for me, thanks. I'm okay.
It's not going to be possible even if I were immortal. So
So, yeah, might as well give up.
yeah, just consume what we can.
Consume what we can.
Absolutely. Now, when you're picking out something to play, what's normally hidden in the back of your head? Is there certain bands or albums that you have kind of going on as you're picking out a new bit on the guitar? How do things influence you? Let's put it that way.
How do things influence me? A lot of the time when I'm learning new chords, just like I actually got a Joe Pass chord book, and I was learning, like, apparently they're all C major chords, and I got this, like, chord progression, and, like, that's a new song. So, like, I'll just learn what other people are doing and be like, oh, that's actually a really cool idea. What if I did this instead? And it'll become its own thing. And I'll be like, oh, I bet that's not copyright.
That is great. Tell me about the next song you're going to play.
The next song I'm going to play is, it's an original of mine. It's called Back to the Top. I think I wrote this one when I was, like, 14. It's a song about... it's a very angry song, realizing that you kind of deserve better than the situation you're in, and absolutely leaving it behind.
Just processing it.
Just processing it.
And what's the
Same
title
thing.
again?
Goodbye. It's called Back to the Top.
Back to the Top. All right. Let's hear it.
Thanks. If you don't care to hear and got the words to make you stay, you never seem to care that much about what I had to say. You play the victim and tear me apart so that you can have your way. But your sins and tragedies put a bullet in my brain. Go to work for the black light spotlights designed just for you. You can explain to the passerby just how you got that bruise. It's gonna be called higher rise when the earth begins to move. With the fear of the dead and stage you're gonna lose. Teach me what I never knew. If you need me, I'll be over you if you see me. What you saw was just a dream. We're going back to the top. Wake me up when it starts. Wake me up when it's over. Maybe if you're sober, you won't let me fall. We're going back to the top. If you don't get me, don't got a clue to why you're here. Did you need me to be a dream so that yours could disappear? When you found out that I was gone, was it music to your ears? Or two nightmares joined together and a story for the years? Leave me like you always do. If you need me, I'll be under blue views. What you saw was just a dream, yeah. We're going back to the top. Wake me up when it starts. Wake me up when it's over. Maybe if you're sober, you won't let me. You're falling back to the top. When it starts, oh, wake me up when it's over. Maybe if you're sober, you won't let me fall. That you think it's all over now. Had your fun and now your fuel's run out. Always liked it better in the clouds. We'll call my name and point the light out. Pointing fingers, it's a milestone. When you were first and last to know, well, we set fire to it, so we're going back to the top. Wake me up when it starts, up when it's over. Maybe if you're sober, you won't let me fall. Back to the top. Whoa. Wake me up when it starts. Wake me up when it's over. Maybe if you're sober, you won't let me fall. That's Back to the Top. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to play you a little bit more of a happier song. It's called Worth a Shot, and it's about having a hard time making friends. Darling, I took this empty head of mine and tried to make a move. So please let me apologize if I couldn't see it through. But I'm pretty sure you feel the same things I do. Our sight is out, our vitals down, our souls need something to do. But I don't wanna lose control. What if you're the only love I need? You said it's out of our control, but I'm the only air that you could breathe. You said it's something I could hold. Said that I could give you anything. Oh, just tell me one thing now. You got me, baby. Tell me it's not my fault if the cup is leaving is just too strong. Climb the mountain, fight through your every thought. Now we're working with the tears of the days, but it was worth a shot. to know your senses the way you tried to teach me to. Am I a failure for my flaws? Are you a monster for your claws? Honey, there's no out of bounds if you won't let us make calls. Didn't want to lose the kind who say that all your fears will slip away. It's had to stay out of mind, had to touch out of our way, working with what we find. Just to say we couldn't say, could never say, babe, just you, mommy, baby, tell me it's not my fault if the current leaving is just too strong. Climb the mountain, far through your every thought. Now we're working with the tears of the renegades, but it was worth the shot. It was worth the shot. I'm questioning the rudiment of what it is we found. Scratched the rusty table and then found out for sound. Is it a principle of loneliness or what he spiraled down? I know what we believe and worth is relative for now. Didn't want to lose the kind who said that all your fears will slip away. It's had to say out of mind, had to touch out of our way, working with what we find, just to prove we couldn't say, could never say, babe, it's you, mommy, baby, tell me it's not my fault if the current leaving is just too strong. Climb the mountain, far through your every thought. Now we're working with the tears of the renegades, but it was worth the shot. It was worth the shot. Shot. Heck yeah. How do you feel about yet another original? We just keep kind of going down. This is called Give Me Something. It held ground as the B song for quite a while, just because it's in the key of B. It's not actually about bees. Again, I wish it was. Feel you breathing through the bottom of my lungs. Cause if I hold you now, then I'm never giving up. And if I can see you now, maybe I can gather up enough to hold it down while you're seeking out the side. How far would you go to keep it under control? If they needed you more, just give me something to go on, and give me something to hold on, and give me a reason to doubt, give me a reason to love where we are now, and give me a reason to shout, and give me a reason to move. Maybe a reason to reach out, cause I keep looking down and wondering if I'm ever finding you. Just give me something to go on, and I'll try to make it through. Just give me something to hold on, and I'll find a way to you. I feel you beating through the stronghold of my heart. Cause if I knew you, then maybe I have played my part. If just to speak some truth, to light a candle in the dark. Cause we can never find love if we never even start. As far as I go to make you feel you are known, I know you are. Oh, just give me something to go on, and give me something to hold on. Give me a reason to doubt, give me a reason to love where we are now, and give me a reason to shout, and give
down and wondering if I'm ever finding you. Just give me something to go on, and I'll try to make it through. Just give me something to hold on to, and I'll find a way to you. Oh, it's funny how the world tilts toward you when you hear your name on other lips. The whole wide world could say that they adore you, and it would still feel proud to exist. If I could see you breathe or even hold you, well, I think we just tell it like it is. That nobody needs company but loners, and on this earth that's all there ever is. But what's two less souls in a business that's already filled? Oh, but you gotta give me something to go on. Just give me something to hold on, and give me a reason to doubt. Give me a reason to love where we are now, and give me a reason to shout, and give me a reason to move. Maybe a reason to reach out, 'cause I keep looking down and wondering if I'm ever finding you. Just give me something to go on, and I'll try to make it through. Just give me something to hold on to, and I'll find a way to you. Sweet.
Got standing O by our sound engineers.
Sweet. I love you guys.
Give me goosebumps. It's beautiful.
Oh, sweet. That's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
nice.
I'm one of those people that when I listen to music, not all the time, but often, I get all the goosebumps.
Oh, yeah. Same, though.
Yeah. If others want to get more goosebumps and listen to more of your music, where's the best place to go and find more of it?
Yeah, so my music socials are all A Fidanzo Musician. When they go on the website right now, is my last name on the...
Yes.
Sweet. So it's A Fidanzo Musician.
Go ahead and spell it
On
for him just in case.
Yeah. It's AFIDANZO. Musician is MUSICIAN. And that's on Instagram and Facebook. On Twitter, they make you do like less than 13 characters or something, which is stupid, but okay. So it's just A Fidanzo Music, but it'll probably still come up. Yeah, and that's on like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and everything. I also have SoundCloud at Alaina Fidanzo, if you're into that.
Yes, then that's where I was listening to your music.
Yeah.
So,
Rochelle's one of the cool kids.
well, thank you. I'm glad to sit at the cool kids table now.
Heck yeah.
It's great. So SoundCloud, again, that's where I listen to your music. Do you have it? I tried to find you on Spotify. Didn't see there. Is there anywhere else people can find it? Like, is there any music stores or anything?
Yeah, no, I do not have like CDs out on Spotify or in stores yet, but SoundCloud is where you go. I also have demos of a lot of my originals on my website, which has a crazy long URL, and I'll link it somewhere for you guys on my socials. Yeah, it's linked on all my socials, but there's a demo playlist on my website.
Great. That way we can hear more music.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. And you mentioned playing with friends. Do you have any bands you play with or any other bands you want to plug right now?
I do not currently play with a band, no.
Okay. Just kind of jamming with friends then. What instruments do they play?
Guitar, they're full on rock and roll dudes. So guitars and drums and bass, and yeah, I'm not super plugged into the community yet, but like Oh Brother and Estacada, they're a great band. I used to play with a ton. I don't know if he's been here yet, but Timothy James is freaking amazing at guitar and vocals, and super great songwriter too. So, our contact is stuck in my eye.
All right. Well, you fish out your contact.
I will fish out that contact.
You go ahead and do that.
Plug him too. Yeah.
Other bands around town, because I've noticed some pictures on your socials of playing. Do you have any upcoming gigs?
I'm actually playing at the Garages in Lake Oswego tomorrow night if you want to come out to that. It's $5 cover, but I would love to see you guys there.
All right, so Saturday the
21st.
Thank you. I had to stop for a minute and remember today's date. So Saturday the 21st, Lake Oswego. Any other gigs coming up after that?
After that, I'm playing June 4th at an art event. I will get all this information out on my socials. For sure, check up on those. This is as much as I know right now. Like, all the information is on the table.
Is there any of those socials in particular that's best to look for upcoming gigs if they're wanting to find updates?
Probably Instagram, but I try to keep them pretty evenly updated.
Evenly distributed there?
Evenly distributed.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Great. Shifting gears a little bit, since you have all these wonderful shows coming up, you've been to concerts yourself. What was your first concert?
My first concert was the Half Alive one I went to in March, and I was just on a high from it for so long.
When you're at a show, what do you kind of pick out that you want to take for yourself as a musician from that performance?
Just creativity. These guys, they started with this. They did like their first couple of songs holding up a sheet in front, and he was singing from behind, and the lights were doing crazy like silhouette stuff. Like, that's cool. I've never seen that done before. You know, they came back from an interlude, and one of their dancers started like doing a crazy choreographed duet with the drummer. It's like, I've never seen that done before. That's a crazy cool idea. And, you know, just new things. Like, people don't, when it comes to music, when it comes to art, people don't need to be fed more of what they already know. And people who step outside of that box, just like, oh man, like, I love that. I feel like that got a little bit off topic, but yeah, that's where my head's at right now.
Right, wanting to push the envelope a little.
Yeah, that was my first concert.
That is great.
Hey.
That's a great concert to have as your first concert.
Is
for
it
sure.
okay if I ask you what your first concert was?
Yes. So, kind of two answers to that, depending on what you count. So, as a kid, my grandparents took me to symphonies a lot. So,
that's so
I went to the Oregon Symphony as a quote-unquote first concert, if you count that. So I did a lot of that as a little kid. But then as far as like actual rock concert sort of thing, a little embarrassing to admit here, but I went to Dave Matthews Band as a teenager.
Yeah,
That's depending on your view of Dave Matthews. But, which was a big deal for me because then I got to camp out at the Gorge Amphitheater up in George, Washington. So it was like a big thing besides just going to a show. It was camping and all of that. It was really fun.
Thank you for sharing. That's so cool.
Yes. So that was my beginnings of music. And obviously making up for lost time because I go to a lot of shows now.
Okay, cool.
Which is great. And that's one of the benefits of coming out of COVID now is that excitement that everyone has when they're at a concert. For me, comparing the before times, quote unquote, compared to now where there's, I would say, a little raised level of excitement just to be there because we've all been kind of pent up for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, it's interesting to see how musicians' songwriting has evolved while we've been quarantined.
Yes.
How would you say your music has evolved during quarantine?
I had time to actually invest in my music. Actually, before quarantine, I wasn't sure I wanted to keep going in it. And then COVID started, and I actually hit a huge, like, mental breakdown in the middle of all that. But
I'm sure you're not alone there.
Dude, yeah, everybody struggles so bad in that, but it's all a catalyst, you know. That's what they say to kind of be, oh, let's just be positive about this, but it's actually kind of true. Like, it sucked and there were terrible things that happened, but it can be so good if you look at the other side of it. Yeah, I had time to like sit down and think about like, okay, wait, what do I like actually want to write about? What do I actually want to sound like? And I've gone through so many phases in the past year and a half that it's not like, it's like, this is real growth. This is going through the phases and seeing that was who I wanted to be, and that was great, but let's try this, and let's try this, and let's try that, you know?
So you're trying different things now compared to what you were pre-COVID.
Yeah, it was time and it was permission to try things. Mm-hmm. That was a pretty long-winded way to say that, but it's all true. Absolutely.
So throughout that, as you're trying new things, what's an example of one of the new things you tried that you wouldn't have tried before?
More jazz-inspired guitar. humiliated to say I did not know who Joe Pass was until like 2 weeks ago.
That's okay. There's plenty of people around that aren't familiar with the jazz scene. So you want to spell his name for him?
Joe Pass, yeah, it's Joepass. So
Right. Yeah, because I know first time I was trying to look him up, I kept trying to find Pase, and I was like, where is this guy?
Oh yeah.
So that's my embarrassment there of trying to find him.
You know what? We're just throwing out the embarrassing stories tonight.
That's okay. It makes us.
You guys are having a good time.
I think there's a strength and vulnerability.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm glad you said that actually. Yes.
Yes. So it's great that you've tried different things. Which of your songs kind of has some of that jazz in it now?
The jazz stuff, I wouldn't say it's jazz, but like
Maybe
I'm kind
influenced?
of you know, do you remember when I showed you like the one that was like that is probably the jazziest thing I've written, and that's not super jazzy, but you know, like the more funky stuff, you know, that's influenced a bunch of my stuff, and just trying different rhythms, and I can recognize and say that my exposure is still very limited, and I have so much to learn, but that's also one of my favorite things about it too, is there's always going to be a lot to learn, and
Right.
the most you can do is just look at it with, oh my gosh, this is so exciting, and not like, I feel so defeated, because both are always there.
It's true.
For sure.
There's unlimited supply, which is great that you won't ever run out, but then it's also intimidating because you'll never consume it all.
Right. Literally what we were just saying, like,
Right.
I can't listen to all of this.
Right? All right. Talk to me about the next song you're going to play.
The next song I'm going to play, I gotta look at it.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was going to play Valerie next.
Tell me
From
about Valerie.
Valerie, I'm doing the version when Amy Winehouse did it at BBC.
Why the BBC
Tasty.
version?
It's tasty. It's yummy. It's I don't know, there's an essence to it that is much more close up, and it just hit me harder than the ramped up version, because it's like, oh, I can hear each individual person that put their time and effort into this. That always gets me with the song, is knowing like, wow, like multiple people came together and worked together to make this. Does that make sense?
Yes,
I don't know.
that collaboration and being able to pick it out, because I know when you're listening to something that's very produced, it's hard to pick out the collaboration. So it's I totally get you there.
Sweet.
That's wonderful. So I appreciate that take on it. What's the song after Valerie that you're going to play?
After Valerie, I'm going to play an original that I just finished. This song's called Drugs, and I promise you it's pretty family friendly. It's actually kind of wholesome. But yeah, it's called Drugs, and I'm actually really excited to share it with you guys.
Okay, explain to me how a song titled Drugs is family friendly.
You know what? That's a good point, and very, very, very much touche. It's about looking for things to fulfill you when there are better things to fulfill you than what you're limiting yourself to.
Got it. So it's the limitation of drugs.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously music is one of the things that fulfills you. What else do you draw from?
What else do I draw from fulfillment-wise?
Yes.
There's music. There's God keeps me going all day, all night. Gotta, like, can't leave that out. There's music. There's my friends and my family that always keep me going. That's kind of a cliche, but it's so true. I stepped into this room. This room, for you guys who are listening, is covered with color and music and stickers, and it looks so cool, and there's creativity radiating out of it into my soul. And being around that much art, that's fulfilling. That's like, oh yeah, this is where I belong.
Yeah, this is one of my happy places, and you can see why. So creativity, your faith, your music, the song Drugs, then, finding all your fulfillment in those things besides that.
Yeah, it's not even really a song about drugs. It's a song about, like, looking for fulfillment in things. Like, drugs are drugs, you know?
It's a thing. I joke sometimes that music is my drug.
Yeah.
That I wish I could, mainline music.
Yeah, you can find fulfillment in anything. It's about kind of picking what you want to be fulfilled by.
It's beautiful. All right, well, let's start off with Valerie and then get into the not
And
drugs.
then get into drugs.
Not, I caught myself. We'll get into the song that is not about drugs
Yeah, it's
after we hear from Valerie.
very wholesome, family-friendly stuff. I'm gonna grab some water real quick. Give me just a sec.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you done. In my head I'll paint a picture. Well, since I've come on home, yeah, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over, quit making a fool out of me? So why don't you come on over, Valerie? Yeah. Did you have to go to jail? But jail's on off for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? Hope you didn't catch your tan. Hope you found the right man who'll fix it for ya. Are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? Did you have to pay the fine? You were dodging all the time. Are you still dizzy? Well, since I've come on home, yeah, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over, quit making a fool out of me? So why don't you come on over, Valerie? Oh, Valerie, my Valerie. Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you done. In my head I paint a picture, yes I do. Well, since I've come on home, yeah, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over, quit making a fool out of me? Yeah. So why don't you come on over, Valerie? Yeah. Oh. Valerie, my dear Valerie. Oh, Valerie. Oh, Valerie. Da 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 da. Valerie. Oh, my dear Valerie. Oh, Valerie. So why don't you come on over, Valerie? I did not write that song, I want to clarify. Actually, I'm going to keep it up for you guys because that is some quiet stuff. Yeah. Fresh appointment, fresh seeking, what's the thrill? Fake appointments just to tell you how I feel. Fake enjoyment, fake and saying it's for real. I see water, figure out what it'll take. Cut my hands off, I can tolerate the pain. Pick it up, put it down, there's really not much at stake. Oh, but you've been shaping up and feeling up on luck. Taking your sweet time, telling me what you want. Ain't it so sweet to have it all figured out? Cause if you tried the silver and you drank the wine, really what's the point in sitting wasting time? Got the whole heart right at your fingertips, and you're working with it at your lips. But everybody wants drugs, they wanna be high, high, high. Feel the push and pull, the twist and turning of time. And everybody wants the high, they wanna feel something more. Honey, give me that bitter buzz and I can take the edge off of us. The water, take a minute here to think. What's the payoff? Cue responsibility. Climbed a mountain I could hardly even see. My prized possession was the end of what I hate. My obsession took a turn I couldn't take, mixing up, twisted what I couldn't bear to say. All I'm doing is I'm shaping up, I'm feeling up on luck, taking my sweet time, telling myself I'm wrong. Ain't it so, so sweet coming out on top? Cause if you tried the soup and you drink the wine, really what's the harm in trying one more time? There's a hole from your core to your fingertips, so you can fill it up with one more hit. So everybody wants drugs, they wanna be high, high, high. Feel the push and pull, the twist and turning of time. Everybody wants life, they wanna feel something more. Honey, give me that bit of buzz and I can take the edge off of us. Oh, just give me that bit of fuzz and I can take the edge off of us. Heck yeah.
Whew. All right. So we're almost out of time, but want to make sure we plug once again all your socials where they can find you.
Heck yeah. Okay, my socials are all A Fidanzo Musician. Should I spell it again?
Yes.
Okay. A Fidanzo Musician is AFIDANZO MUSICIAN, and that's my Instagram. My Facebook, Twitter is A Fidanzo Music, but it should still come up. My SoundCloud is Alaina Fidanzo. Everything you can find at either my full name or A Fidanzo Musician.
You mentioned TikTok as well.
Oh yeah, TikTok is also A Fidanzo Musician.
Okay, just checking.
yeah.
Yeah, TikTok doesn't make you shorten the characters there.
Oh yeah, no, TikTok is not as
Restrictive.
ridiculous as Twitter. You're much nicer. Restrictive. Ridiculous.
Same thing. Of course, I have to remind you, as always, that you are tuned into KPSU, Portland's college radio station. We've been broadcasting since 1994 on the Portland State campus, and we're streaming to you live 24/7 at www.kpsu.org, where all of our fabulous shows are available for podcast and download at your leisure. I am your host, DJ Rochelle. Thanks for tuning in to Live Friday. Thank you, Alaina Fidanzo, for joining us here today. Really appreciate it. Anything else you want to mention or plug before we wrap things up tonight?
I'm all good. Thank you guys who are tuned in so much. You're bringing joy into this place, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
That's great. And for those tuning in right now, you can find more of her music on all the socials, as well as the show that is at Lake Oswego tomorrow, The Garage.
Yeah.
And future shows available on your socials will be posted.
Heck yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.